Did everyone have a good week?
Sir.
So, does anyone remember what we were doing last time?
Equation of circles, sir.
Yes. So, we found few points on the circle. We took a circle of radius 1 and center at the origin, right? And we found the four corner points, and we also found other 4 points along the diagonals. Can someone tell me the coordinates of those some 4 points on the circle, unit circle? What are the 4 points on the unit circle, which are on the x and y axis? Tell me some point on the circle, unit circle, the x coordinate, the y coordinate. Who remembers? If I take a unit circle, tell me any point on the circle. Tell me the coordinate of any point on the circle. You remember any point on the circle? Anyone? Anyone can tell any? Just tell me some point. Coordinate of any point. Tell me what is the coordinates of the origin. Can you tell me the coordinate of the center? What is the coordinate of the center?
0,0.
0,0, sir.
Yes. Okay, good. Now, can you tell me some points on the boundary of the circle? Tell me the rightmost point, the point which is rightmost, which is on the boundary. What is the rightmost point? Anyone? For the rightmost point, yeah, Pooja Ashok, go ahead. Tell me, what is the rightmost point?
So 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2.
That is the point on the diagonal. Tell me the point rightmost. Rightmost means, so if this is a circle, so rightmost will be the farthest point on this side, on the right side. So it will be the farthest point along the x-axis in the positive direction. So Pooja, what will be the farthest point on the right side? 1 by root 2, 1 by root is correct. That is the point. It is on the 45-degree line. It is along the diagonal line. Okay. But tell me the rightmost point. What is the rightmost point?
0.
Just repeat once more.
X, 0.
X, what did you say? X, 0 or so it is a unit circle. Unit circle means it has radius 1. So what will be the coordinates?
So 1, 0.
1, 0, correct. The rightmost point will be 1, 0. What is the leftmost point on the boundary?
Minus 1, 0.
Yes. Now someone else tell me the topmost point. Can someone else tell the topmost point?
So 0, 1.
0,1.
Yes, 0,1. Okay, now someone else other than Pavitra and Pooja, someone else tell me what is the bottommost point?
0, minus 1.
0, minus 1, sir.
Yes, 0, minus 1. Now let's go to the diagonal point along the diagonal. Okay. So on the diagonal, what is the most upper right point? Upper right point which is along the diagonal, 45-degree line. Yeah, Pooja, you were saying something. I think your voice didn't go through. What is the, if I take the 45-degree line, what is the point in the farthest, in the top right corner? In the northeast, in the north, you can think of it as if it is the north-south is this way, and east-west is this way. Then in the northeast direction, if east is positive and west is negative. So along the 45-degree line, what is the farthest point? Anyone? What is the point along the 45-degree? There will be 2 points along the
So
diagonal.
1 by root 2, 1 by root 2.
So root 1 by
Yes,
1 by root 2,
root 1 by 2. Same thing. Yeah. That is the farthest point in the upper right. What is the farthest point in the lower right direction? So it will be the southwest, along the southwest. What is the farthest point there? So this side will be 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. The opposite of that, there will be another point. What is that? Which will be the point will be opposite to that one? Opposite to 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2.
minus 1 by 1,
Minus
minus
1 by root 2, minus 1 by root 2.
Exactly. So on the 45-degree line, the farthest one will be 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 in this way. And the farthest one, the down left direction will be minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, minus 1 by root 2. Now let's take the 45-degree line along the other side. So 45, the other diagonal, this 45-degree line, okay? Now tell me what is the farthest point in upper left direction, upper left.
Minus 1 by root 2, comma 1 by root 2, sir.
Exactly. From minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. Okay. Now what is the point in the lower right corner? Lower right, 45-degree line.
1 by root 2, comma minus 1 by root 2, sir.
Exactly. It will be positive. It will be positive. The x-axis will be positive and the y-axis will be negative. Okay. And they will both be equal because of the 45-degree line. So it will be plus 1 by root 2 x coordinate and minus 1 by root 2 the y coordinate. So these are the points we have, which are the top, bottom, right, left, and then the upper right, lower left, and then up lower right and upper left. Those things. Can someone tell me any other point on the circle besides these? Besides the plus minus 1 by root 2, plus minus 1 by root 2, and besides the 1 0 0 1 and plus minus 1 0 and 0 plus minus 1. So we have these 8 points. Tell me some other point besides these 8 points. Who can tell me some other point? Can anyone tell me any other point on the circle?
Sir, root 3 by 2, comma 1 by 2.
Yes, root 3 by 2, comma 1 by 2. How did you get this? How did you get this point?
Sir, 30 degree.
30 degree to which axis? 30 degree from the x-axis or from y-axis or which one?
X-axis.
X-axis, yes. So if you take a line which is 30 degrees to the x-axis, then along this you will get some point in the upper right region. At that point will be the exact x coordinate will be root 3 by 2, y coordinate will be 1 by 2. Now I want to ask someone else, why will that be the case? Why will it be root 3 by 2 and 1 by 2? Let me ask some other person. Okay. Let me ask. Yeah, I think Pooja just spoke, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
Pradeep, did you understand what Pooja is saying? What at the 30-degree angle, what will be the x coordinate, y coordinate? Did you understand what is the statement Pooja was saying? Pradeep?
No, sir.
No. So what did you understand, Pradeep, that the upper, the top, bottom, and the right, left, and the diagonal points, those 8 points, did you understand, Pradeep?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You understood all the plus minus 1 by root 2, plus minus 1 by root 2, and then the 1 comma 0, minus 1 comma 0, and those points you understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now suppose you take a line. Okay, this is the x-axis, right, Pradeep? Okay. Now the 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 is by taking this line at 45-degree angle, correct? Correct, Pradeep? Instead of taking at 45 degrees, suppose I just take at 30 degree. So if I take a line at 30-degree angle, then wherever it hits the circle, what will be the x coordinate of that point and what will be the y coordinate of that point, Pradeep? So did you understand which point we are talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So for that point, which is 30-degree line which is 30 degrees from the x-axis, okay, that point, do you remember how to get the x coordinate and the y coordinate of that point? So I'm taking from the center, I'm taking this radius of length 1 and I'm turning it by 30 degrees. Okay. So this unit circle is obtained how? By taking a unit radius and then turning it. If I take a compass, like this and I rotate it all the way, I'll get a circle. Okay. If I rotate it by 45 degrees, I will get 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. Okay. If I take this point, the top point will be 0, 1. The rightmost point will be 1, 0. Okay. Now, if I just turn it by 30 degrees, then what will this point be? What will this point be if I take it 30 degrees? Pradeep? Do you remember this? How to get the x and y coordinate of 30-degree line. 30-degree line of length 1. Do you remember, Pradeep, that thing?
Sir, by taking an equilateral triangle.
Yes, Mahalakshmi. Okay, yeah. So that's right. By taking it. So Pradeep, do you remember this? Uh, do you remember, Pradeep, that if we take a triangle, okay, if we take a right angle triangle whose hypotenuse is 1, then do you remember how we, and its angle is 30 degrees. If the angle to the base is 30 degrees, then do you remember how to get the height and the base, Pradeep?
Sir, by Pythagoras theorem.
Exactly. What was the height of that triangle and what was the base of the triangle? If it is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, that means this is the hypotenuse, okay? With the base, the angle is 90 degrees, okay? And this is it's like this, a right angle triangle. Then what was the height and what was the base? Do you remember that, Pradeep?
Sir, height is 1/2 and base is √3/2.
Exactly, okay? And the height will be the y coordinate and the base will be the x coordinate. So the base is √3/2, so x coordinate is √3/2 and the height is 1/2. And why is the height 1/2 and this √3/2? How did we get that? Can someone else tell me? So does someone else remember how do we get the height as half and the base is √3/2?
Sir, by taking the inverted triangle below the x-axis.
Exactly. You take a mirror image of this triangle. So you take this triangle and you take its mirror image like this. Okay. When you take this and the mirror image together, okay. So let me now share the slide. Then I will get an equilateral triangle. Okay. So this was that. Okay, 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay. This is the hypotenuse. And we are trying to find this and this. So if you reflect around, think that the x-axis is a mirror. And if you reflect, then you'll get a reflection here. Once you reflect, then this angle will become 60 degrees, 2 times 30. This is 60. This was already 60 to begin with because it is 90 minus 30, which is 60. This is also 60. So this is equilateral triangle. Once it's equilateral triangle, they all become 1, 1, 1. So you know this is half. Once you know this is half, you can find out this base by Pythagoras theorem. Because the base squared plus half squared is equal to 1 squared. So base squared is equal to 1 minus half squared. So it's 1 minus 1/4. 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4. So the base squared is equal to 3/4. So base is equal to square root of 3/4, which is square root of 3 divided by 2. Okay. So if it's 30 degrees, I will get this point. In general, if I take any angle theta, then what is the height of what is the height and what is the base of the triangle? If I take this hypotenuse, okay, then what is the value of the height and what is the value of the base? Remember, we said that we have to use some new functions, some trigonometric functions to tell the height of the base, because you cannot always get it you cannot always get fixed. If I take 40 degrees or something which is not 30 degrees or not 45 degrees or if I give you some very random degree like 40 degrees, let's say, okay, then there was some particular new function that we said you have to use. There was some new function of that angle. Does anyone remember that new function? Who remembers the new function? We said that if you take a hypotenuse of length 1 and you turn it by theta, then the height is given by some function. The base is given by some function of theta. What is that function called? Anyone remembers the function? Okay, let me try asking a random person. Okay, Mahalakshmi Kori. Can you unmute, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you remember what was if this angle between the hypotenuse and the base is theta, then do you remember what was the height? Theta is not known. Theta is not 45 degrees. Theta is not 30 degrees. Some unknown angle called theta. Then this height is given by some function. What is that function called? Some new name we had. Do you remember that name, Mahalakshmi?
Sir, no.
No? Okay. Anyone remember? Anyone remember we were saying some sine, cos, something? Who remembers that? Okay, this
half
last
into
slide. Yeah, repeat that again. Who's saying that? Someone is speaking. Yeah, go ahead. Half
half
into
into
what?
half into r square into sine theta.
Half into r squared into sine theta. How did you get that? How did you get half into r square into sine theta?
Sir, it to find area of triangle.
Area of the triangle. Pradeep, okay, Pradeep, you are saying it. Area of the triangle is how much did you say?
Half into r
Half
square
into,
into sine r square into sine theta.
and what is r here? So I said that it is the hypotenuse is 1. Okay, the hypotenuse is 1. Uh, can someone tell me what is sine theta? What is the meaning of sine theta? Who remembers the meaning of sine theta?
Sir, height.
Yeah, height of what? So tell me the full thing. Like sine theta is what exactly? Height of which triangle?
Sir, right angle.
Triangle,
Yeah,
sir.
right angle triangle. And where is theta? What is the length? Tell me in more detail. Any triangle is any triangle right angle triangle's height sine theta, or some specific triangle?
Opposite side divided by adjacent, sir.
Yeah, sine theta is opposite side divided by adjacent.
Hypotenuse, sir.
Opposite by
Yeah,
hypotenuse.
exactly. Yeah, you can say that the hypotenuse, or you can think that hypotenuse is 1. If you say the hypotenuse, this was the figure. Remember, this is the angle. Here it is not 40 degrees. Some any angle. Okay, it can be anything. For any angle, and this is the right angle triangle where C is 90 degrees and an angle at A is theta, and the hypotenuse is 1. Then the height is given by sine theta and the base is given by cos theta. Okay, so it is the height of a right angle triangle when the hypotenuse is 1, and the angle between the hypotenuse and the base is theta. So basically what it means is if I take a straight line of length 1 like this and I turn it by theta, if I turn it by theta, the height of this point from the horizontal line from the base, that height is sine theta. Okay, and the distance of this point from the vertical line, that is cos theta. So how much ever distance from the origin in the x direction, that is cos theta. So that point, its x coordinate is cos theta and y coordinate is sine theta. Now, so we got few points on the circle, right? We got like all these 1 0 minus 1 0 0 1. Then we got 1 by root 2 1 by root 2. Then we got root 3 over 2 and half. All these things. But there is something which is true about all these points. What is that? Any point xy, some equation is always true. What is that equation? There's some equation which is always true for every point that you take. Some equation it satisfies. What is that equation? No matter what the angle is, no matter what the angle, there is some equation which always holds. As long
So
as the
is the
point is on the
radius.
boundary. Yeah, sorry, repeat
Sir,
that.
x square plus y square is equal to 1 square.
Yeah, why is x squared plus y squared equal to 1 squared? For every point xy on the circle, why is x squared plus y squared equal to 1 squared? Why is that? Who can tell why x squared plus y squared equal to 1 squared?
Sir, because y-axis is perpendicular to x-axis. We get a right angle triangle.
Yeah, and what is the hypotenuse length?
1.
What is the length of the hypotenuse? It is
1.
equal to the radius of the circle. 1 here. Correct. Okay. So did everyone understand this? I want to make sure everyone understood this. Let me ask people at random. Okay. Anjali Shinde. Okay. Anjali Shinde, can you unmute? Okay. Anjali, so do you understand why for every point on the circle, x squared plus y squared has to be equal to 1 squared?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me? Can you repeat the reason for everyone?
Yes, sir. X coordinate and
Yeah.
y coordinate are perpendicular to each other, sir.
And
X square plus y square equals to 1, sir.
Okay, and um, so when you say x coordinate and y coordinate are perpendicular to each other, can you tell me more clearly, like what? Suppose the point is, suppose this is the origin here, okay, and this is the point here. So, and there is some point that some point of the circle has been obtained by rotating this thing by some angle. Okay, every point can be obtained by taking a unit compass of like from length one here, from here to here, and by turning it by some angle. If you keep turning, you'll got the whole circle. So this is some point x, y. So which, when you say x coordinate and y coordinate are perpendicular to each other, what do you mean by this? Which two lengths are perpendicular here? So this is the point whose coordinate is x, y. So what two are perpendicular? Anjali, how do I get the triangle out of this point? How do I first draw a triangle out of this point, out of this radius here and this point here? How do I get a triangle first? Anjali?
Sir, repeat once.
Yeah. So when you say x coordinate and y coordinate are perpendicular, I want to understand the details of that. So which two lines are perpendicular? So I just have some point on the circle. So this is the origin and this is some point. Okay, this is some point. Okay, and this is one. This distance is one. Correct. Now, what do you mean by x coordinate and y coordinate are perpendicular? Is it, how do you get the triangle first? How do you get a triangle from some point on the circle? See, let's go back to this slide. Okay, you take any point on the circle. This is the origin. This is of unit length. Okay, you get a triangle by looking at the height. The height is the y coordinate, and the base. The base is the x coordinate. And here, the line segment, which is the height, corresponding to the height, and the line segment according to the base, those are perpendicular to each other. And this is y and this is x. So x squared plus y squared has to be equal to 1. So every point on the circle must satisfy x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. Is that clear to everyone? Does anyone not understand this? Does anyone understand why for every point, no matter what the angle is, no matter which point you take on the circle, x squared plus y squared has to be equal to 1? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure everyone understood. Anyone not clear? Is someone not clear on why every point on the circle x squared plus y squared should be equal to 1? Okay. So if I plot x squared plus y plus equal to 1, what will I get? What will I get if I plot x squared plus y squared equal to 1? So if I plot x squared plus y squared equal to 1, what will I get? Which shape will I get? What will I get?
Sir, a right angle triangle.
Right.
No, I plot it, I graph it. On a graph paper, I draw all the points which satisfy x squared plus y squared equal to 1. Then what will I get?
Sir,
I
a
put a black
circle.
point every. Yeah, I'll get a circle. Okay. Correct. Okay. So let's try to plot it. Let's try plotting it. Let's try plotting it on Google. Okay. So let me just say plot this. Let me switch to this tab here. Okay. And on here on Google, I'm saying plot x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. And let's see what I get. Okay. So let me use this web page here. Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha is a good plotting tool. So you can just say plot x squared plus y squared equal to 1. And you can see you get this. You see you get this circle. So how did they get this? They just changed the value of x and they solve for the value of y. Okay, just like we were plotting. Remember earlier we were plotting y equal to x square, plot y equal to x square. And we were getting parabola. Remember this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
For every value, you just keep changing the value of x. For x equal to 0.1, you will get y equal to 0.1 squared, which is 0.01. Then for x equal to half, y will be half squared, which is 0.25. For 1, x equal to 1, you will get y equal to 1 squared, which is 1. And similarly for negative values. So you get all these things. Okay. Instead of that, we are plotting x squared plus y squared equal to 1. Okay. So again, you keep changing the value of x and you keep finding the value of y. Now, when we were plotting y equal to x squared, we were changing the value of x and we were getting value of y, and we were putting that on the point on the graph. Now here, look at the value of x. Let's say x equal to 0.5. How many y's do we get for a given point x? If I take any
Yes,
point
sir.
x here, if I take some value from value of x here, okay, and let's look at the value in the graph. What is the y value when x is equal to half? When x is equal to half, then what is the y value on this graph? How will I find the y value when x is half here? What is that? Okay, let's find the y value when x is 0. When x is 0, what is the y value here?
1, sir.
In the circle?
1.
Yeah, repeat that.
1, sir.
1. Is it only 1? Is everyone think it's only 1? Is y only 1 when x is 0? Which point do you see here x is equal to 0? Which point do you see on the circle when x is 0? Is y only 1?
5 also.
Yeah, someone said something. You can't. Can you raise your hand because I can't make out who said who spoke. Is y only 1 when x equal to 0? Okay. Let me ask Farhan. Farhan, when x is
Yes,
equal
sir.
to 0, what is the value of y? So it can be any point of y when x is equal to 0. Any point of y. That means, are you saying when x is equal to 0, then y can be anything? Like y can be 100, y can be 20. Will that satisfy the equation? Will that be point on the circle? Sahana? It can be any point of y when x is equal to 0. Can I take x equal to 0 and y equal to 0? Is that on the circle? Sahana?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah. So then
No,
what is the
sir.
value of y when x is 0?
That is
1, sir.
1. Does it have to be exactly 1 or can it be something else also?
Only.
Exactly 1, sir.
1, sir.
Exactly
Exactly 1.
1. Look at this plot here. Look at this plot, okay? X equal to 0 means this line, right? The y line. The y line satisfies x equal to 0. Do you see only y equal to 1? Is that the only thing that you see on this line? Is that the only point that
Y
you
is
see on
equal
this
to
line?
minus
Y
1.
equal to 1? Yes. Y can be minus 1 also. So in this equation, there are two values of y. When x equal to 0, there are two values of y. Why are there two values of y? Normally, when you have a function, y is equal to some function of x, you have only one value of y, right? Like y equal to x squared, we were getting exactly one value of y for every x. Here, we are getting two values of y. Why are we getting two values of y?
When
Yeah,
x,
go ahead,
y
Farah.
value as minus 1 and plus 1 also.
Yeah, why are we getting minus 1 and plus 1? Both. Will you have two values? What about when x is half? When x is half, what is y? What is y when x is half?
Sir, root 3 by 2.
Is it only root 3 by 2?
Minus 3 by root 3 by
Minus
6.
3 by 2, sir.
Yeah, also minus root 3 by 2. For any value of x, why do you get two values of y? How do you get the value of y at some x? How will you find the value of y?
Values
How
of
will you get the
x
value of y?
in that.
Yeah, I think your voice is breaking. Whoever spoke, your voice is breaking. You can type your answer if you want. At half, we got two values of y. Okay, root 3 by 2 and minus 1 minus root 3 by 2. For any x, will you get two values of y or one value of y?
So sometimes we get 2 or sometimes 1.
Sometimes 1. When do we get 2 and when do we get 1? Most of the time, what do you get? Most of the time, what do you get? How many values of y do you get? Mahalakshmi?
So 2 only, but when the x coordinate is equal to the hypotenuse, we get only 1, sir.
Exactly. Okay. And why do we get 2 in other cases? Mahalakshmi? Why do we get two values?
So it may be positive or negative.
Yes. The reason we get two values is because when we solve for y, okay, y is satisfying a quadratic equation. And because satisfying a quadratic equation, we get two values. So if you solve for y, then you have x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So y squared is equal to 1 minus x squared. And the solution for this is y is equal to plus minus square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay, it's plus minus square root of 1 minus x squared. So this will have two values. The only case it will not have two values is when x squared is equal to 1. When x squared is equal to 1, then there is exactly one value, and that is 0. Okay, and if you put any x value which is more than 1 or which is less than minus 1, will you get any y values? Will you get any y values when x is more than 1? We'll have to have a solution to this equation. Can x be more than 1?
No, sir.
No. Sneha? Yeah. Can x be more than 1, Sneha?
No, sir.
Why not? Why can x not be more than 1? What happens? Because when you try to solve for y, what happens? How will you solve for y? Let's try to take an x and see what happens for y, right? So, okay, so x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. Okay, so for a given value of x, suppose we don't know y, we're trying to solve for y, then you get that y squared is equal to 1 minus x squared. 1 minus x squared. Now, and so y squared, y is equal to square root of this. Plus minus square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay. But this square root will exist only if x is, if 1 minus x squared is positive. Okay. If 1 minus x squared is not positive, then the square root does not exist. Right? If I take x equal to 2, let's say. If I get x equal to 2, will I get any value of y? I will not, because I'll have to take square root of 1 minus 4. 1 minus 2 squared, which is 1 minus 4. So square root of minus 3. So square root of minus 3 doesn't exist. So I will not get any values of y. And which is clear because, sorry, I think I was not sharing this tab here. So this is the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So y squared is equal to 1 minus x squared. And the y is equal to plus minus square root of 1 minus x squared. So if x is equal to 2, then I will get negative. Yeah, square root of a negative number. So I'll not get anything. And this is clear because if you see, the circle has no points for x more than 1 or x less than 1. Because there is no solution for this. So x squared plus y squared is equal to 1 is exactly the equation of a circle. For every value of x, you have two roots, two solutions of y. And that's why you have these two sides, which also matches the shape of the circle. The shape of the circle is such that you have a part which is above the x-axis and a part which is below the x-axis. So everything works out here. Now, did everyone understand why? Did everyone understand why equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared is equal to 1 when it is of unit radius? And did everyone understand why it has two solutions for every x? And when x is more than 1 or less than -1, you will not have any solutions. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everyone? Prerna Hospeti, is it clear to you, Prerna? Is it clear to you, Pradeep? Why there are two solutions for every x?
Yes, sir.
And also why you don't have any solutions when x is more than 1 or less than -1? Is that clear, Pradeep?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Pradeep, can you tell me, this was equation of a circle whose radius was 1. Can you tell me the equation of a circle whose radius is 2? How will this change? What will be the radius of equation of a circle whose radius is 2?
Sir, x square plus y square is equal to 2 square.
Square is equal to 2.
Exactly. X squared plus y squared is equal to 2 squared. So it's x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. Why will it be 2 squared? Because now the radius is 2. So the hypotenuse will be 2. So again, by Pythagoras theorem, x squared plus y squared is equal to 2 squared. Correct. Okay. In general, if the radius is r, then what is the equation of the circle?
X square
X
plus y
square
square is
plus
equal
y
to r
square is
square.
equal to r
Y
square.
square is equal to R square.
Exactly. Good. Good. Okay. So equation of circle whose center is at the origin. The center has to be at the origin. Only then. Okay. Then the and its radius is r. Then x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Is it clear to everyone that the equation of the circle of radius r is x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared? Is that clear to everyone?
Yes,
Anyone
sir.
not clear? Okay. Now, what if the center is not at the origin? What if the center is somewhere else? Then let's take a unit circle. Let's say circle of radius 1, but it is not at the origin. As I said, shifted. Let's say the center is at 1, comma 0. So the origin, the center of the circle is at 1, comma 0. It is not at 0, comma 0. If it is at 1, comma 0, then what is the equation of the circle? Can anyone think what is the equation of the circle if it is at 1, comma 0? Will it still be x squared plus y squared equal to 1 squared, or will it be something else? So the center is here, the point is here. Earlier the center was at the origin. Okay, now the center is not at the origin. I still take this. I still take the base and take the height, the base and the height. Okay, but will the base and the height now be the x coordinate and the y coordinate, or will there be something else? How should I change it? So let me just draw a circle which is not at the origin. Okay, so I need to shift it a little bit. So this circle is not here anymore. It's slightly moved. So the origin is here. X-axis is also. So let me move show the y-axis a little bit. Okay. So the center is somewhere a little bit away. It's not at the origin. Center somewhere else. And now I'm taking some point, right? Some random point here. Now so now the center is, let's call it C. Oh, okay. Let me check. Okay, so now I've taken a circle whose this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, this is the origin. Okay, the circle is not passing through the origin anymore. Now, what will be the equation of this circle? Take any point here. Will x squared plus y squared be equal to 1 squared? So I've shifted the circle by 1. So center is at 1 now. Okay. C is 1, comma 0. Now what is the equation of the circle? So I've shifted it by a little bit. Let's say this OC has been shifted a little bit. Then what is the equation of the circle now? Let's take any point here, okay? let's say I've shifted it by some amount. Let's say this is this doesn't look like 1. So let me change this. Let me call this as this is 1, that this is half. This can be half. Okay. So let's say OC is half, 0.5. So I've shifted it by 0.5. If I've shifted it by 0.5, then what is the equation of the circle?
Sir, x minus half square plus y square is equal to 1 square.
Okay, how did you get that? How did you get x minus half whole squared plus y squared is equal to 1 squared? Who spoke just now? Is it was it Mahalakshmi or was it?
Yes, sir.
I think it was Mahalakshmi. Yeah. How did you get x minus half squared? Okay, so let's take this point. If this is xy, then the base of this, that means OD is x. And let me call this point as P. Okay, so just to be clear, so this is the point P, which is on the circle, and it has some x and y coordinate, x comma y. Okay. Earlier, x was the base and y was the height. Now that will not be true anymore because x is actually the whole length OD. The base is just CD. The base is OD minus CD. Sorry, OD minus OC. Okay. And if OC is half, then the base is now x minus half. Height is still y coordinate. And so we get that the equation of this circle is x minus OC whole squared plus y squared is equal to 1. That is the equation of the circle. Okay. And if OC is half, then we get that this is exactly x minus half whole squared plus y squared is equal to 1. If OC is not half but is some other value a, then you will get x minus a whole squared plus y squared is equal to 1. What if the center C is actually at the point a comma b? So here the b is 0. Here the center is along the x-axis. But if the center is at a comma b, then what is the equation of the circle? Does anyone know? When it was half and 0, then we got x minus half whole squared plus y squared is equal to 1 plus y squared is equal to 1 squared. If the center is at a comma b, then what is the equation of the circle? Does anyone know? So I shifted the origin, the center of the circle to a comma b. That means I will now shift the x-axis also below. So the x-axis will now come the x-axis will also go below, and this will now no longer be the x-axis. The x-axis will be here. Okay. And we'll remove the arrow from here. Okay. So now all these things are wrong. This is not x equal to 1 and minus 1 anymore. Okay. But the point C is now a comma b. This point C is equal to has a coordinates a comma b. If this has a comma b, okay, then xy is actually this whole thing. This whole thing is y and this whole thing is x. Okay. So this whole thing is y and this whole thing is x. So now I have to subtract a and b from there. I have to subtract a from the x coordinate and then I will get the base. I have to subtract b from the y coordinate and then I will get the height. So I have to use x minus a and y minus b. and then I will get the base and the height. So what will the equation become? The equation will become x minus a the whole squared plus y minus b the whole squared is equal to r squared. That's what I'll get. So this is the general equation of a circle whose center is at a comma b. Okay, if the equation if the center is at a comma b, then I will get this equation. X minus a the whole squared plus y minus b squared whole squared is equal to r squared. Is this clear? Is this clear why the equation of a circle whose center is at a comma b, not at the origin? Then the equation is given by x minus a the whole squared plus y minus b the whole squared is equal to r squared. You have to subtract a and b because now the x coordinate, the base of the triangle, to get the base of the triangle, I have to take x minus the a because the center itself has shifted by a. And from the y coordinate, I have to subtract b because the center itself has shifted by b. So the height is actually just y minus b. So is it clear to everyone why the equation of a circle is x minus a the whole squared plus y minus b squared, y minus b the whole squared is equal to 1? Is it clear? Mahalakshmi, is it clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
Have you studied this before, or are you studying things for the first time, Mahalakshmi?
It's the first time.
Okay. Now let's try to understand another equation. Okay. So do you understand that for every equation I will get a shape, some kind of a shape on the so this was the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 1, right? And we also talked about x squared plus y squared is equal to 4, which is just a circle of radius 2. So do you understand how for every equation you get some shape on the graph paper, on the xy coordinate? Correct? So
Yes,
it's very
sir.
interesting connection between algebra and geometry. So I just write some algebraic equation in xy, and I can just draw and I just find out all the y and xy points which satisfy this equation, and I'll get a shape. So somehow I can get a shape out of any equation. Let's try some new equation now. Okay, let's try the equation which is okay. Let me try the equation. X squared plus 4y squared is equal to 1. So instead of x squared plus y squared equal to 1, I made x squared plus 4y squared is equal to 1. Can someone think what is the shape of this thing? X squared plus 4y squared is equal to 1. Will it still be a circle? X squared plus 4y squared equal to 1. Will it still be a circle? How will it look? X squared plus 4y
No.
squared is equal to 1. How will it be different from a circle? Should we try plotting it, or someone wants to think how it will look? We can try plotting it on that Wolfram Alpha, this tool here. We can try plotting
Yes,
it
sir.
here. But does someone want to think how it will look first? Take a guess how it will look. Think a little bit. How will it look? How will it be different from the circle? Let's try plotting it. Okay, let's try plotting it. So this is plot of this. Let me try also along with it x squared plus 4y squared equals 1. So I'm plotting both of them. Okay. So here it is showing the plot. Okay. The way to read this plot is there are two graphs being shown here on the same diagram. So the blue graph is the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 1, which is a circle. And the red graph is x squared plus 4y squared is equal to 1, which is this one. Can you see how they look? Can you see the difference between the two?
Yes, sir.
Sir, elliptical shape.
Yeah, it's ellipse. Exactly. It's elliptical shape. Why is it becoming like this? What is the connection between this equation and this equation? Is there some connection between these two equations? If you look at this elliptical shape, okay? See how it is, what it is doing to the circle. Is it compressing the circle in some way? Is it shrinking it some way? Is it scaling, something like that? Compressing it? Pressing it in
Yes,
some way?
Yes.
How?
Sir.
How is it compressing it? In which direction is it compressing it? In X direction it is pressing it, or Y direction it is compressing it?
Y.
Y direction. In Y direction, it is taking the circle, this circle, and in the Y direction it is pressing, it's compressing it like this. So this is circle, it is compressing it like this. Correct? It is compressing by how much? How much is it compressing it by? How much is it compressing?
4 times.
4 times? Is it 4 times? Let's look at the plot again. See the y, see, look at the, this is the x-axis, okay? If I take this line, it will be the x-axis, and this will be the y-axis. Look at the value of y for any x. Look at the value of y on the red thing, and look at the value of y on the blue thing. Is it 4 times smaller? Is the red thing's y value 4 times smaller than the blue one?
2 times.
2 times smaller, exactly. It is shrinking the circle by, it is shrinking the circle to half the size. Okay, it is 2 times smaller. It is making it half the size in height, in the height direction, the y direction. X direction is not doing it. X direction keeping it as it is. In the y direction, the height direction, it is shrinking it. It's like taking a paper, it's like drawing a circle on a pillow, and then you shrink the pillow to half the size. Okay, so why is it shrinking by to half the size? In the equation, I'm putting a 4 here. Then why is it shrinking it by half the size? I've put a 4 there, right? Then how am I getting half here in for the y value? Why is the y value of the lower equation half the y value of the first equation? Can anyone make out?
So it's y square, it is 2y whole square.
Repeat that, sorry. Repeat that. Y squared is 2y whole squared. Yeah, that's correct. But can you tell more clearly so that other people also understand? 4y squared is 2y whole squared. Correct. That is the main point. But can you tell more clearly so that other people also understand? Why is the y value of the second equation for any point x, for any x, why is the y value in the second equation exactly half the y value of the first equation? So I have, in the second equation, actually I'm giving more, put a 4 in front of the y squared. So shouldn't the y value be bigger in the lower one? Why is it coming out to be smaller? Why is the y value becoming half in the lower equation? If I multiplied the y squared by a bigger number, the y squared coefficient by bigger number, why did it become smaller in height? Shouldn't have become big, shouldn't it not have become bigger? Why is it becoming smaller? Okay, let's close for today, but let's think about this. You can think about this at home, okay? So I just changed x squared plus y squared equal to 1. I made x squared plus 4y squared equal to 1. So I made the coefficient of the y part, the y squared part, bigger. And now y became smaller. Right? For every x, the y became shrunk by half. Why is that happening? Okay? So think about this at home and then we can talk next time. Okay?